Hey everyone, and welcome to podcast number 1 for your business coaching club. Thanks very much for tuning in. I hope you get something out of today's podcast. Now, my name is Craig Ridley. I'm the founder of your business coaching club. We've been around as a website since 2011, so we've got a fair history behind us at the moment, but today's a bit of a relaunch, I guess, in that we've decided that we will embrace podcasting as the public face of our coaching club. So podcast number 1, here we go. A little bit about your business coaching club. I guess I'll come back and explain a little bit more about us. But as I say, we've been around since 2011, and our aim has always been to try and put low cost business improvement resources at the hands of the global business entrepreneur community, and we've developed a fair following in doing in doing that. But we're always looking to try and spread the word and get the business improvement messages out to a wider audience. So here we are, and let's have a go at our first podcast. So what I thought I would talk about today really is some of the warning signs that we see in small businesses across the world, warning signs that this business is not quite reaching its potential and potentially running into some problems. Over the last 12 months, I guess I should say, in my professional career, I'm actually a partner of a top 10 accounting firm in Australia, and what I do within that professional life is run business improvement programs. So I'm a business advisor from that point of view. Over the last 12 months, we've had a number of instances where we've been put into businesses where the banks believe that the business might be in a bit of trouble, and we get called in to have a look to see if there's anything we can do to improve those businesses. Now, sometimes we can make a difference, sometimes we don't, and oftentimes when we can't make a difference is where we come in too late to the piece, and the business has already gone too far, and it's pretty difficult to try and turn those ones around. But what you see when we go into those businesses are the same sort of warning signs all the time. So what I thought I'd do today is just probably summarise what I see in those businesses. If you see some of these signs in your business, then treat them as a warning and start to reach out to people to help you try and turn that business around and address those issues that you see. And that's where a business improvement resource like we offer at Your Business Coaching Club is something that you should be looking at if you don't want to go and seek that face-to-face assistance. So, look, clearly the first warning sign we're going to find is that your business, if it's not performing well, we're going to see a drop in profitability across the period, or just a lack of profitability, and certainly an impact on cash flow. Now, they're the standard ones. You think that as soon as you start seeing cash flow tighten up over an extended period of time, you know there's going to be some issues in the business that need to be addressed. So we'll just gloss over those ones, I think, because I think they're fairly obvious. But there's lots of other things you should be looking for as well. So one of the classic ones, I think, is that if you're starting to drop off as a business, you're going to find and feel that you're less competitive in your marketplace. You're going to find that your competition is really stealing a march on you. So wherever you go, you see your competitors' names probably more than you see your own. You see your competitors coming up with new ways of doing things, some innovation creeping into their business model that you hadn't thought about. So it's a bit of a sign that you're not on your game, as it were, and you're starting to be left behind a little bit. You might still be profitable at this stage, and you might still have some cash flow, but it's a warning sign that things may well be starting to turn the other way. What I also find in businesses that are starting to underperform is there's a lot of management indecision. Quite often because there's lots of decisions to make, but no one's really clear on what decisions they should be making, how they should be determining how to go forward. And generally it's a sign that there's just a lack of strategy, or a aligned strategy at least, across the business and across the group. So where you start seeing decisions being made in an ad hoc manner, where you start to see them being made late, last minute type decisions, and where you start to see lots and lots of crisis type decisions being made around the place, then clearly that's a sign that the business is not travelling as well as it possibly could be. Also start to see some inefficiencies come into the business. So the cost structures generally start to rise, particularly if we start to see revenue starting to fall off. You are definitely going to, if you're not on top of that, you're going to see that your costs will go up as a percentage of revenue because you're not seeing it straight away. And we see labour costs in particular start to increase, and they erode margins along the way. People is probably where we see that inefficiency coming in. So a lot more lower people productivity. And again, that's just what I look for when we come into a business. If we see lots of people sitting around, if we see an increase in some of those expense ratios, we know that there's, if not certainly a warning sign, let's say that the business is not performing as well as it should, but also there's opportunities there to improve that business even further. Where you start to see customers fall away from the business, particularly where you start to see long-term customers and very loyal customers start to move away, perhaps reduce the amount of buying that they do through your business. And if you hear that they're starting to work with some of your competitors, obviously something's not right in the business. And again, you might still be profitable and might still be producing cash flow at that time. But if you start to see some of these things just creeping away, you need to be alert to them. You need to be reactive to them. It's nice to be proactive to these as issues, but sometimes you're not. So at least we need to be able to react to it in a strategic way to turn that tide and to claim those customers back. Similar to customers, but we see staff starting to move away from a business, or certainly not be as engaged in the business as what they could. If we start to see some of our key staff move away, then clearly that's a sign that our business is not going to reach the potential that it could. Growth is a good indicator as to whether your business is succeeding or not. So if everything's firing inside the business, we're going to be finding that our revenues are growing, that our presence is growing, that we're looking for more opportunities, and opportunities are finding us more often. So there's a growth sort of mindset in the business. As we start to plateau, or as the business starts to go backwards, we're no longer looking for growth opportunities. We no longer see where some of those opportunities are presenting themselves to us. In fact, we're starting to fight to hold on to the market position that we have. So I guess it's in all of that, it's just a feeling you see or get within the business that the business has really just lost its edge. It's not as innovative as it once was. It's not killing new challenges. It's not bringing in new customers. It's not growing. It's not feeling like a vibrant sort of a place. And so quite often it's a financial impact first that sort of raises the stresses in the ownership group and in the management group, and those stresses permeate back in through the organisation. Staff feel the stresses that the leaders are going through, and it's just like this self-fulfilling prophecy in a way that we just start to spiral down. It can come very quickly. A very successful business can turn down very, very quickly as these things start to multiply upon themselves. So we need to be careful when we see, or when you see your business starting to look a little bit like that. So finally, probably just touching on the consequences and of your business not performing as well as it could. Clearly we're not going to be making the profit or taking the cash home like we would if the business was really sparkling. So that's fairly obvious. But the flow-on effect of that one is that the business is also worth less when it comes to sell. And worse still, you've probably got less opportunities to sell the business. So your exit options become less and less as the business starts to become a lower performing business. So then it's like this spiral just growing on itself, that the negatives of not being quite so profitable, the negatives of not having the cash flow start to impact on the value of the business at the same time. And clearly that all just then starts to focus in on a much higher risk of business failure. Clearly, if we're not getting the cash coming through, if staff aren't happy, if customers are starting to leave, if we start to be trending down, then we're starting to head into business failure type territory. Even if we're doing okay, we're not growing, but the business is doing okay, but it's certainly not what we'd call a high-performing business, there's no doubt that you as the owner are going to be working much harder for much less return than what you would like. Once we get a business structured correctly and with a good profit model as it works through, then you find that the owners actually generally are working less than what they did when things were tough. So as the business is starting to fall away, you'll find yourself working more and more hours and taking home less and less money as a result of that. So, it's not a great place to work. Certainly in terms of work-life balance, you can throw that out the window. You're just not going to find that. So they're the sort of warning signs that we see when your business is not performing as well as it could, and that's the reason why we set up Your Business Coaching Club, was to educate, I guess, and just put that message out there for small business owners across the world to understand the signs to look for. But most importantly, that having recognised those signs, we want to give you a place where you can get to find the resources to help you through turning around the business and in fact achieving the potential that you've got in your business. So at Your Business Coaching Club, we've got various levels of support there. We've got the do-it-yourself service. So membership of our club is really, really cheap. It's only $15 a month. There's no locking contracts. You come and go whenever you want. But what you get access to is more than 60 professionally prepared business improvement coaching courses. These are courses that I've prepared over my years in the profession, which is now well over 30 years as a business advisor. So there's more than 60 business improvement coaching manuals. There's a members clubhouse. We've got a members forum. And as a club member for just $15 a month, you have got that ability to ask questions as it relates to your own business. And we answer those questions within our masterclass series, which are really video workshops. And you get to learn from other members at the same time. A number of our members then will move into wanting more one-on-one coaching. So we offer some more traditional business coaching support as well, in terms of just monthly video contact. And that coaching option is, I think, currently worth or valued at $500 a month. Again, no locking contracts in doing that. And then we have a smaller group of clients who want much more deeper hands-on contact from us as your more traditional business coaches. We work across the world. We're not limited to one country. That's the beauty of the new world of the internet and all of our Skype messaging and drop boxes and the rest. We're available, as you are, worldwide 24/7, which makes it quite interesting. So look, I think I'll leave it at that for our first podcast. I'm excited that we're going in a new direction and using podcasting as a way to certainly to project the benefits of being part of Your Business Coaching Club, but to provide yet another avenue for us to be able to educate entrepreneurs across the world. So I'd encourage you to come on board. Look, just Google up Your Business Coaching Club. We're all over YouTube if you look at that. And now if you look at your favourite podcasting app, you'll find us in there as well. So look, thanks for tuning in. I hope we have your support over a long period of time. Love to see your comments wherever you're catching this video or this audio podcast. And again, you can find us, just Google us up, Your Business Coaching Club. My name is Craig Ridley. I am the founder. I'd love to see you again. Goodbye then.